Hello everyone and welcome to Liam's Library. Well, it's Christmas time. That means here at Liam's Library, I have to sort of put down some of my scarier, creepier things that I read day in, day out, and sit in the family lounge room and watch some Christmas movies. So that's what I've been doing. But have no fear, I still get away with watching scary shit. So, what better movie to review at Christmas time than Krampus, the 2015 horror movie, with a big budget. And it's funny, the movie's PG-13, but they did some funny little tricks with Krampus to sort of make you feel like you're watching an R-rated horror movie. It didn't fool me, but I did have a good time with it. That's not to say there isn't problems with it. So let's get into it anyway. Krampus. Krampus is a story about a family around Christmas time, a few days before Christmas, I think, and, they're fighting like hell. They've got some in-laws coming over to spend the holiday. The son wishes the family were more into Christmas. His mum and dad were closer. His two nieces are these two tomboys that just, try to fight with him and give him shit at every turn, this little kid. And the family is just crazy. So it's kind of like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, the in-laws rock up and they're just fucking awful. With the cranky aunt, played by that, what's her name? Berta, or whatever, from fucking Two and a Half Men. Anyway, she's just playing the same character she always plays. And then it reminded me, the first time I'd ever seen her in a movie was Freeway with Reese Witherspoon. She handcuffs a leg to a bed or something. You remember. I remember. Anyway, so, Krampus. This kid, he's had enough, right? So his family has this big thing. His nieces pull some mean trick on him, which really, really pisses him off, right? So he's written a letter to Santa, even though he's probably a little bit old, but he's keeping the spirit of Christmas alive. So he writes a letter to Santa, asking for all this stuff, asking for help because he thinks his family's in a Christmas crisis. But because of his family's behaviour, he denounces Christmas and he rips it up and he throws it away and he's just like, he wishes the worst. He wishes his family would just go away. And someone hears his wish. And it's this, it's this ancient spirit. Right, well, hang on, we'll get to that. Sorry, spoilers. 2015, so whatever. But it's Christmas time, so spoilers from here on out, okay? So if you just want to go watch the movie, recommend just go watch it. I think it's on Netflix. Pretty sure it's on Netflix. I'm sure that's where I watched it. Probably. Maybe Stan. Netflix, I think. Anyway, check it out. So, spoilers from here on. Anyway, he rips up his letter to Santa and he throws it out the window and it gets sucked away and it's like kind of creepy and it goes into the sky and then we see a storm coming, like a big blizzard, just a black evil one coming out of the sky. And within like seconds, it surrounds his little part of the neighborhood and his house especially, and all the power goes out, followed by his house last. And it's like, they go to bed. In the morning, they get up and look out the window, and a blizzard has set in. Now, the news never said anything about a blizzard like this. They're completely snowed in. They have no power. They've got a little bit of power left on their iPad. And someone's built a big, creepy-looking snowman out the back. And, he's like, Mum, like, look at that snowman. She's like, yeah, who gives a shit? And he's like, well, who the fuck would have built that? So, I don't know, who cares? But they're like, listen, we've got no power. We need to see if the neighbours have power. We need to see what's going on. So they send the daughter out in the middle of a blizzard just because she wants to see her boyfriend. And they've been really strict on her up until this point. And it's kind of bizarre that she's like, listen, I'll go. And they're like, okay, sure, we'll send the teenage daughter out in this creepy blizzard just because she wants to. And as she's out there in the blizzard, she sees something running across a rooftop, this creepy figure. And she ends up getting attacked and dragged off into the snow by this, off-screen wipeout. And it's off-screen. It is an off-screen wipeout, and that's just the way it is. And then the next thing is the dad and his brother-in-law go looking for her. And once again, some, creepy thing under the snow messes with him and fucking, the brother-in-law gets shot in the leg or bit on the leg or something. And they're battling this monster and they have to get back to the house and they're like, holy shit, there's something out there. And, the wife's like, well, what about our daughter? He's like, no, trust me, like, we can't go back out there. Anyway, you can see the formula about this movie, can't you? Like, just the way I'm describing it to you. We've all seen movies like this, just not Christmas. Not Christmas monsters. I've definitely seen it. It reminds me of that movie Feast, but just with Christmas monsters. Now, this is what I wanted to talk to you about with Krampus. A lot of people don't seem to notice this, but it really took me out of it. They use a lot of practical effects on these monsters, but they mix it with a little bit of CGI, which is cool, if you're doing it properly. And it's almost like, not only are they not doing it properly in Krampus, they're doing it like weird and backwards. The little gingerbread men with the angry little CGI faces, they're pretty funny and cool and just hell destructive and fun. The Jack in the Box, there's this big giant Jack in the Box that reminds me of, Demonic Toys. Remember that old horror movie from the 90s, Demonic Toys? Fucking great fucking show. Anyway, there's a big Jack in the Box with monster teeth, like the one in Demonic Toys. Yeah, the hell stole that shit and thought we wouldn't remember. I remember. But this big thing with teeth, it's eating someone and it's disappearing down his big gullet. And you can hear these hell crunching, blood-curdling sounds as it's doing it. But there's no blood on the TV, you know what I mean? Like, you're not seeing R-rated stuff. You're hearing R-rated sound effects, but it's not really bringing it. And, they try to kill the Jack in the Box. It goes on until the grandmother, the German grandmother, who doesn't speak English, all of a sudden starts speaking English and tells them a story that this happened to her when she was a little girl in the old country. And it does it in animation. Like, all of a sudden we flash to an animated segment of the movie. And it's pretty cool and it's pretty creepy. And so that's what she done. She wished her parents away on Christmas and Krampus came and punished her and took away her parents and left her as just a reminder, as what she did at Christmas time. And they're all kind of like, well, this must be what's going to happen to us then, So the family they battle these monsters. They're getting taken away one by one by one. By the end, they're not tremors. But at the end, it looks like tremors take away the last few members in the snow of the family and just leave him there. And then we get a bit of a switcheroo and all his family's back alive again. And then everybody's giving him a really weird look and we look out the window and it's very cold and windy and wet and wild out there. And as the camera zooms out, they're stuck in a snow globe made by Krampus, surrounded by thousands upon thousands of other snow globes. So we're led to believe that when Krampus does this, there's no getting away from him, and you and your entire family spend, eternity in these glass baubles with fake snow, well, real snow, like, you know what I mean? Like, so, and that's how it ends. It ends with literally a photo of the front cover of Krampus, the hand placing the snow globe on the table. And that was it. I think my girlfriend liked it more than I did. You could tell it had a good budget. The actors were doing their job. The monsters weren't the greatest. Now, this is what pissed me off, and I saved this to the end of the review. Krampus himself makes an appearance at the end, and the kid tries to bargain with him. And he looks like a big scary Santa, as you imagine that he would. But his face is permanently, practically built, it's a practically built special effect of this monster-looking Krampus, with his mouth permanently open, that Beetlejuice thing when Barbara and whatever turn into their fucking stretch their heads out like that. And Krampus has permanently got his mouth open, so he's growling and he's but it doesn't open or anything. And you see the eyes moving around with shitty contacts. It's that's Krampus. His mouth doesn't move when he makes noises and stuff. He's they built it but forgot to build a jaw hinge. I don't know. It didn't seem to annoy anyone else. That really pissed me off. I thought Krampus looked like fucking shit. Story was better than the monsters. I'll leave it at that. The story is better than the monsters. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Stay tuned next week when I get around to doing the Christmas Chronicles Part 2. read some good books, watch some better movies, look after one another during this holiday, and don't take any shit from anyone. See ya.